Right now, agencies are charging $10,000 for websites that look like this. And I'm about to show you how to build the exact same thing start to finish without writing a single line of code, without any templates, from scratch. We'll build the entire website using Claude and HiggsField, the design, the automation, the code, everything, while you just talk to it in plain English. By the end of this video, you have a repeatable system you can use for every client, every product, every launch, for less than the price of your coffee this week. Let's get into it. Before we start building, let me quickly show you what we are actually making today. We are going to create a premium animated landing page for energy drink brand called Surge. The main visual is going to be the product itself, a cinematic animation of the Surge can that reacts as we scroll through the page. To achieve that, there are four things we need. The first one is Claude. Claude is basically the brains behind the whole project. It's going to build the website, write the code, create the layout, and turn our visuals into the animated experience you saw at the beginning. The second thing we are going to use is HiggsField. If you are not familiar with HiggsField, it's basically an all-in-one AI creative platform where you have access to some of the best image and video generation models in one place. And what's really useful for what we are doing today is that HiggsField can connect directly to Claude. So Claude can actually ask HiggsField to generate the visuals while we are building without us constantly jumping between different platforms. The third thing we are going to use is a skill. If you never used skills before, think of a skill as a set of instructions that we give Claude before it starts working. Instead of explaining the same process every time, the skill actually tells Claude how we want the website and the scroll animation to be built. The fourth and last thing is Netlify. Netlify let us publish and host the website online without having to deal with complicated server configurations. And don't worry if some of this sounds a little confusing right now. Once we connect everything and actually start building, you make a lot more sense. Alright, so let's head over to Claude's website and download the desktop app for our operating system. Once it's downloaded, just follow the installation steps, and once it's completed, open it up and log into your Claude account. I'll use my Gmail here, and I'm in. Now, just one quick thing before we continue. To use Claude Code, you need at least the Pro plan, which currently starts at around $28 a month. Unfortunately, the free plan does not include Claude Code. There is also a max plan starting at around $170 a month, but you definitely don't need that for what we're doing today. Inside Claude, let's head over to the left-hand side and you will see Home and Code. For this project, we need to make sure we select Code. And this is the interface we are going to be used for pretty much the entire video. Down here, we can choose which model Claude is going to use. Fable 5 is Claude's newest and most powerful model, but unfortunately is not available in the Pro plan. You can still use it on Pro, but you will need to purchase additional credit usage. Another option is upgrading to the Max plan, where Fable 5 is included. For this project though, I'm going to use Opus 5 with the effort level set to Extra. Opus 5 is already extremely capable, and for the type of website we are building today is more than enough. Next, we need to give Claude a folder where it can store all our project files. Down the bottom here, make sure Local is selected and then choose the folder on your computer where you want Claude to work. I have already created a folder on my computer called Surge Landing Page, so that's the one I'll be using today. And then I click on Trust Workspace. I recommend creating a separate folder for every project you work on. That way, if you start building multiple websites later on, everything stays organized and nothing gets mixed together. Now we need to connect HiggsField to Claude. First, we need to head over to HiggsField and create an account if you don't have one already. Once you are signed in, go to MCP and CLI section. Down the bottom here, you will see an option for Claude. Make sure it's selected and then copy the HiggsField connector URL. Now let's go back to Claude. On the left hand side, click Customize, then go to Connectors. We click Add in the top right corner and then select Add Custom Connector. For the name, I'll just enter HiggsField, and down here where it says Remote MCP URL, paste the URL we just copied. Then we click Add. Now we just need to connect our HiggsField account. Click Connect, and Claude will open HiggsField in the browser. Make sure you are signed into the correct account, then click Allow, and finally click Open Claude. And that's it. Now we have HiggsField connected to our Claude account. One last thing I like to do here is click on this button where it says Needs Approval and select Always Allow. That way, whenever Claude uses the HiggsField connector, it won't keep asking you for permission every single time, which can get pretty annoying while you are building a website. Now, if we go back into our connectors, we can see that HiggsField is connected to Claude, which is good. So from this point on, Claude can use HiggsField to generate images and videos for us directly inside the project. While we are inside connectors here, let's take the opportunity to add the Netlify connector as well. We click Add, then Browse Connectors, and search for Netlify. Here it is. Let's click on it, and then we click Connect to Claude. Claude will then open the browser so we can sign into our Netlify account. If you don't have one account yet, just go ahead and create a free account. I'm going to sign in with Google, then click Authorize, and finally open Claude. Perfect. We can now see the Netlify connector installed and ready to go. Now, the last thing we need to do is to add our skill. The skill is probably the part that would take the most time to recreate yourself. So I have already built it for you. I spent time testing the workflow and used some HiggsField credits along the way, so you don't have to go through the same process yourself. I'll leave this skill completely free in the description below so you can download it and follow the exact same workflow I'm about to show you. So still from within the Custom tab, we now click onto Skills. From here, you see all the skills you already have loaded. If you never add one before, it's really simple. Over the right, click Add, and then select Upload a skill. Now, just drag and drop the zip file you downloaded from the description. You don't need to unzip it, just upload the zip file directly. And just like that, the skill is loaded. You can actually see it right here. If we click on it, we can see the full set of instructions Claude is going to follow behind the scenes. I'm not going to go through everything inside the file, but this is basically what guides Claude through the process we are about to use. Perfect. Now we've got everything connected and we are ready to actually build the website. So inside the Surge landing page project, I'm going to say, use the cinematic product website skill to build a premium animated landing page for an energy drink brand called Surge. I have attached the product image I want to use. Use HiggsField to create the animation and any additional visuals needed for the website. Then I will attach the product image. Let me show you guys what the product looks like. And I'll hit submit. From here, Claude is going to ask me a few questions about the product and the direction we want it to take. Depending on your project, the questions might be slightly different, so just go through them and give Claude the information it needs. The first question I get here is about the scroll animation concept. Claude gives me 3 different options plus a 4th option if I want to describe exactly what I have in mind. For this example, I'm going to choose the first option. And then Claude asks whether Surge is a real product or a fictional demo. If you are building this for your own product, you obviously select real product, and Claude will ask you for a few more details about your product. But for this example, Surge is fictional, so I will select fictional demo. Next, Claude asks what the primary action on the page should be. In my case, I want people to be able to shop, buy now, so I'll select that. Hang on a second, looks like I missed something at the top here. Yes, Claude asked me to re-upload the product image and I missed that one. So I'll just reattach that and click continue. Now, Claude will send this reference image over to HiggsField to generate the animation. This may take some time, so I'll be right back. Alright, looks like our animation is ready. Let's have a quick look at it while Claude continues building the website in the background. How cool is that? I'm actually really happy with the result. It looks really good. From here, we can download the video, regenerate it if we want something different, or even use HiggsField prediction tool to see how likely it is to go viral. As I said, I think this one looks pretty cool, so I'm going to stick with it. Now it's just a matter of letting Claude finish the rest of the website. I will go get myself a coffee and I'll be right back. Okay, this one took a little longer than I expected, but let's have a look at the final result and see if the wait was worth it. The site is currently running locally on my computer, and we can actually preview it directly inside Claude if you want to. But I prefer opening it up in the browser so we can see everything properly in full screen. To do that, I will close the browser and we'll just click on this localhost link right here. Select open in the full browser and here it is. Let's scroll through it and this is the effect we were trying to create. As I scroll down the page, the animation moves with me instead of simply playing like a normal video. It's actually funny how Claude created a few different flavors. I didn't even ask for that, but since I told him it was a fictional website, it took a bit of creative freedom. And obviously, if there is anything we want to change, we can just go back into Claude and ask for it in plain English. So I'm going to ask Claude to add a fourth flavor. So I will say add a fourth flavor to the existing flavor section, call the new flavor Blaze and use a bold red color palette for it. I'll hit submit and Claude will send the request back to HiggsField to generate the image for our new flavor. Obviously, you can keep going back and forth and change pretty much anything you want. The text, colors, sections, image, whatever makes sense for your website. And here's the final result. That's the new flavor there. Perfect. I'm really happy with how this turned out. So now it's time to make our website live on the internet so people can actually visit it. Since we already connect Claude to Netlify, this step is very straightforward. We basically need to tell Claude, deploy this project to Netlify. That's simple. Claude will now take care of the entire deployment process for us. Since this project isn't connected to an existing Netlify site yet, Claude is asking me what the site should be called. He actually gave me a few options here. I will choose Surge Energy Drink and I will let Claude do its thing and I'll be right back once it's done. Alright, looks like we are done here. Claude has given us a link to the live website, so let's open it up and there it is. The Surge website is officially live on the internet, and because we are using Netlify free tier, the hosting itself hasn't cost us anything. Just before we wrap up, I just want to quickly show you one more thing. If you look at the URL Netlify gave us, it might not be exactly what we want. The first part of the address, the part before .netlify.app, can be changed. And to do that, we go into Netlify, open our project, then go to Project Configuration, and click on Change Project Name. From here, you can change it to something more appropriate as long as the name is available. The netlify.app part, however, cannot be changed. If you want a completely custom URL like surge.com, for example, you will need to use your own domain, and you can actually do that directly inside Netlify. Just go to Domain Management and click Add a Domain. From here, you have two options. You can either buy a new domain or connect one you already own. If you want to buy one, click Buy a New Domain, search for the domain you want, and if it's available, you'll see the price right here. Then you can simply purchase and connect it to your website. Or, if you already have your own domain, click Add a Domain you already own, enter your domain name, and then just follow the steps to verify and connect it. And that's it. Now you can have the website we just built running on your own custom domain. Alright, and that's pretty much it. I think the biggest takeaway here is just how much you can now do without being a designer or a developer. You can start with a simple idea, use Claude and HiggsField to build around it, and end up with something that feels completely custom. If you want to try HiggsField yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below. They are usually running different promotions, so have a look and see what's available when you sign up. And I will also leave the cinematic product website skill completely free down there, so you can try the same workflow yourself. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.